Really fun being out here with these guys. Uh, we love having rookies in the building because they're seated in their chairs 15 minutes prior to the meeting. All the notebooks are open, pencils in their hand. Very eager learners. Same thing out here. I think the walkthrough this morning started at 10:45, and I think 10:25 all of them were out here. So a little bit different than their veteran counterparts, but really fun work, fun for us to put them in a helmet, put them through an individual drill. As you know, the emphasis on today, on certainly this week, is on teaching and learning, not just the system, but getting to know our teammates and them getting to know the coaches, the staff, et cetera. So really pleased with how those guys handled today, and there's more work to do. They have some studying when they get back to the hotel tonight, and we'll get ready tomorrow for day 2 of rookie minicamp. But really pleased with where these guys are. And with that, I'll take any questions.
How do you think Zach looked? I mean, it's been a while since he's been on the field for football. Right? How do you think he looked?
Yeah, he said last time was his last game, so putting that helmet back on. But he looks good. He's comfortable. He's working very hard with Andy and Roy and those guys. Just really pleased with where he is. But he looked comfortable to me.
Is it more conditioning for him than anything
I
else?
think you could probably say that about everybody. What happens is you're in really good pro day shape, and you're in shape for the combine, and you're getting ready to run 40-yard dashes, and that's not really football. So I think a lot of these guys are going to work themselves back into quote unquote football shape. But Zach's no different than a lot of those guys.
Is there any thought of having BT out here, or is he just not ready?
I don't know that he's eligible to be a part of rookie minicamp. Yeah, and I don't know if he's ready to be throwing like that. But I've checked Tony, but I do not believe he's eligible.
When we talk about the individual position, what do you hope to glean and take away from this weekend?
Yeah, I think we look at it as really this weekend is the start, and then going into next week, it's really ramping these guys up as quickly as possible so that when they get dropped into general pop, they kind of know what the system's about, they know what the coaches are about, they know what to expect in the meeting room. So all of this is a process. So they're going to be overwhelmed today with information, and that's okay. They have time. We have time to work through it, but it may feel like they're drinking out of a fire hose with some of the things we give them, but that's just that's a very natural reaction to getting new information. But a lot of it is just there's no secret to it. There's no snap your fingers and figure it out. It's just sit down and spend as much time with the playbook as you can.
Kevin, I know Juan talked about at Cincinnati he played more laterally. He didn't get downfield as much. But so number one, what have you guys seen in him that shows that he has maybe some of those traits you're looking for, and just your first impressions of him physically?
Yeah, you're right, Ashley. There's different schemes, as we all know, and our scheme is about attack and getting off the ball. So that's something that Jacques was working hard with the defensive line today, and that's something that we think Juwan has in him. It's certainly something that we think he's capable of doing. Just watching him move in these drills, I think he's capable of doing that. So there is a definite learning period for all of that. I can think of different players that have played in this system that it doesn't come right away for some guys if you've been playing in a different system. So might take a week, might take some months, but that's why we're here. We're here to work.
Kevin, you've been around rookies for a long time. Is there like a couple of things that you feel the need to tell them right away when they get on campus for the first time?
Get on cross country mortgage campus?
Yeah. Just about being an animal.
Yeah, I think, yes, there's definitely, and that's a great question because where they're going right now is go meet with Ron Brewer and our player programs and talk about some of those things as a rookie, some of those things that go on. And there's a lot that goes on in this NFL, and there's a lot of different challenges that are coming at them. So we look at this as a way to be a resource to them. These are young men coming into the league and making some money and trying to make sure that we have all the resources available to them so they have make smart decisions off the field as much as on the field as well.
Going back to Nathaniel Watson, Kevin, did you know anything about him before this, and what any impressions on him?
Well, we liked him as a player. We liked the tape. He's a very physical player. Goes by Buki. He's a good kid, doing a nice job out here, just making some calls initially. But very physical linebacker. We think he fits what we do. Buki. You have to ask him.
I know it's just the first day, but what were your first impressions of Mike Hall's first step?
Yeah. I thought Mike did a nice job. Again, Mary Kay, like you said, first day of school. But to see them take coaching, that's something that I think is so important for young players. You have to take coaching. I think Jacques and Jordan Thomas do an outstanding job with our defensive line. And if you were watching over there, he's in his stance, and Jacques walking around and looking at every foot and where it's placed, and how high he has his rear end, and how he's bending out of that, and where his hands are. So there's so much nuance that goes into it that he will work really, really hard at. So he did a nice job today, and we just want to build on that each day.
Kevin, I think you have 7 tryout players here this weekend. You got 6 draft picks who themselves are fighting to make this roster. What do you tell the guys that are coming in on these tryouts?
We really don't care, Daryl, whether you're drafted or you're in a college free agent or you're on tryout. For us right now, this is an evaluation period, so all of those guys will get a fair shot as we look at them and see how they do in the meeting room, see how they do out here on the practice field. I've been around guys that have really impressed in a rookie minicamp and turned that into a job. So that does happen. So we are certainly looking at all these players and seeing how each of them could help us in the future.
Off-field stuff. For you, or how much does it resonate when a guy like Devon is playing, not just for his spot on the team, but for a family of 4, and he's really dedicated himself to family and children and all that?
Right. I think he does a great job. He shared with the team, and he was up here for a visit, so we got to know Juwan. But he has 3 young kids. He's got a lot going on. He's probably enjoying the sleep here in the hotel. But yeah, I think all these guys have a story. All these guys have a why. They're all doing it for different reasons, and certainly that's a big part of who he is. But spending time with him this off season, having him up here, we all got a feel for him. I think you guys will as well.
Hey, Kevin, this is not a rookie question, but Andy Dickinson, stepping in for Bill Callen, what's that like for the veteran players? I mean, how's he earn their respect?
Yeah, I think, Jeff, with any person coming in to replace anybody, you want to just be yourself. You're not going to replace the person that came before you. And that's for players, coaches, head coaches, coordinators, position coaches. And in Andy's case, he's had a really interesting career already. He's been in different places. He's worn different hats, played different roles. Very, very smart. So he's going to be himself, and I think players respond to that.
You had a busy week preparing for rookie camp and all these things. You took time earlier this week to go to the flag football championship. Why was that so important to you, and how did you feel being out there?
Well, I saw you down there, Cam. That was awesome. What a cool event. I can't tell you how much fun I had down there. I wish I could have stayed. I wish I could have gotten there a little bit earlier to see some of the games. I think there were 28 teams down there. Some incredible athletes. Some of the plays, the throws that were made in just the time I was there was very, very impressive. That needs to be a varsity sport. The fact that that's not sanctioned yet is crazy to me. Just go down there and watch those young ladies run around and enjoy that sport. Was so fun for me to see. And I know a bunch of our coaches went down there, and it wasn't coordinated. We all just wanted to go down and watch some really good football. So that was a great night down there. There's something about being in your stadium, in your hometown stadium, playing football. It's something that as a kid I was able to do, and I know how important that is. And that's part of the reason why in June 6th, our foundation is going to host a co-ed flag football tournament down there on June 6th. So just for me, watching the girls at a high level like high school do it was inspiring, and I'm excited that we'll be able to go down there and do that with some kids on June 6th. And for more information on that, Tony, thekeepersfoundation.org.
Kim, why did you think now is the right time for you to start your own foundation here?
Yeah, good question. That was my family and I. We really were. It started with a conversation, and I have young kids, and wanting to impress upon them that it's so important to give back. And when you've been blessed, you want to give back even more. And this community, Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, people have just been so good to us, and that's the truth. And people have been so supportive of us. We want to get out there in the community, and we want to do that for the reasons of helping, and also for our kids to see this is so important. There's young kids in this community in particular that need our help, and that's what we intend to do.
I mean, part of it too. This is your 5th year here, like you said, time to settle in.
Yeah, it took 5 years to come up with a name. That's the truth. That's what it was. But yeah, we feel that. I mean, truthfully, this is home, so we want to make sure that we make this foundation a place that a group that makes a lasting impact.
I think this time last year we were able to ask you about the schedule.
Hmm.
Hasn't come out yet.
It will come out.
I know. Do you have any preferences of how you'd like to start the season, and what do you think about the possibility if you go to London?
Yeah, I really don't. I like schedule release day as much as everybody does. I know everybody goes down the schedule and comes up with a record at the end of it. As I've told you guys before, I like to see where our bye is. I like to see where the primetime games are. How many road games in a row, all those type of things. It's exciting for our league. We have no preference on where they place these games. We know who we're playing. We know where we're playing them, but we don't really care when the league decides to put them on there. What did we request last year? Oh, got it. Yeah, nothing specific.
And obviously, you need a quarterback here.
I don't. We'll see. If we have a fifth quarterback that's we deem worthy, then yes.
Good.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Jeff, great sweatshirt.